I would like to introduce you to a young man. When I say he's special, I say he's special for a number of reasons. He has the kind of courage unlike anything I've ever seen. And he's dealing with his problem far better than any adult that I see on the periphery. I would like you, ladies and gentlemen, to meet the 1983 muscular dystrophy poster child, Mr. Christopher Rush, right here.
I think what Chris represented best was his ability to do. He never believed he couldn't do something. And that was not something that was exceptional. It was the rule in Chris's life.
He never said to people, why can't you do that? It was much more subtle than that. His message was, watch me do this, watch me do that.
He almost felt a responsibility to tell people that there is something to reach for, something that they can do to better their life. That's how his Go Far program originally started.
What I've had to do is find ways to adapt to my goals. Really the only difference between you and I.
Go Far was an acronym that Chris developed for goals, obstacles, focus, act, and review.
These are a few different bullet points that say, I felt that my life was full of obstacles. I still wanted to achieve things, and now I'm going to do them.
Chris was always acting on reaching his goals, which is the A in Go Far. He was trying to initiate it for not just people that were handicapped like him, but anybody, to encourage them to be all they could be.
There were so few things that we could do together as a family, with Chris being in a wheelchair. But when Chris wanted to do scuba diving, that was one thing that we could do together.
I said, Chris, you want to do this? And he said, yep, Dad, I want to do this. He says, I want to get certified. And I says, there are no dystrophics that are certified. And he said, that doesn't bother me. He says, then maybe I'll have to be first.
It's a different story here at the Michigan Underwater School of Diving in Lincoln Park. No power chair is necessary here. And Christopher can do things he's never been able to do before.
When you think of muscular dystrophy and somebody that has it, you don't connect that with scuba diving. But like I said, Chris was an amazing young man. When he had an idea in his head, he was going to find a way to do it.
We used our opportunities to go into swimming pools in a local community in Lincoln Park. They suited Chris up with their buoyancy compensator to help keep him afloat in the water. And so decided that we were going to go from this 3-foot place where we outfitted Chris. We'd slide him out into the 10 feet of water and slowly take Christopher down.
Well, diving with Chris took a lot of people. There had to be a front man who would swim backwards so that they could watch Chris's face at all times. Then we had to have a diver who would guide Chris. So he would take his hand and put it on the tank and escort Chris through the water. And then we had people on the sides, you know, watching. I would go to the pool with him and watch how easy it was for him to go under that water, and he would come up just so happy and so excited about the next time he was going to be in that pool to go under that water.
It was within 3 weeks from that Chris felt so comfortable underwater that they decided, let's go do this in the Grand Caymans.
I do remember the Cayman Islands. That was paradise. I was really young. I think I was 6 or 8. So the first day we went out scuba diving, they were getting my brother ready, and I remember thinking, are you kidding me? Really? This is a little bit crazy.
I think that has to be one of the most terrifying proposals. Render my limbs useless. Weight me down and throw me in the water. That's how determined he was to live.
The trust that he had to hand over to accomplish that is just unimaginable.
It's always been something I've wanted to do. I would watch TV programs of scuba divers, and I would look at my dad and say, wouldn't that be awesome to do?
The feeling of watching Chris's dive was amazing because he had such freedom in the water.
He didn't have the chair. He was weightless. He could move around just the same or better than us. That's what it was, you know, just being free.
And for the first time in his life, he could actually take footsteps along the ocean floor, which he had never done.
He entered a different world when he was diving.
When he went down to the bottom of the ocean, you see colors that you wouldn't even imagine.
And swam with life that he can interact with. So having the opportunity to touch the silky insides of the wings of the rays was extraordinary for him.
Seeing all of that just amazed him.
He told his folks, you know, this is the first time in my life I've ever been free to move.
It was just a wonderful feeling to be able to watch him. Chris did not fear anything. Chris had a determination that was unlike anything I've ever seen in most able-bodied people.
I think Chris would want you to know that don't feel sorry for me, that you can go far, that you might be physically limited, but you can do many things in life.
Chris loved life, and for someone in Chris's position who could have been so bitter and so angry with what he lacked, he focused on what he had. Chris lived his entire life like that.
My inspiration was to see a tenacious, industrious kid who had an end goal that in every occasion, and I say that without exception, in every occasion, did exactly what it is that he wanted to do.